The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, The Money Masters. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, The Money Masters.
Good day, Money Masters and Treasure Hunters. Welcome to the July 22nd terrific Tuesday edition of the Money Masters Show. I'm your host, Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, the daily newsletter service that is the intelligence for creating financial freedom. Hope everyone is off to a terrific start of their day. Let's make sure that you and I, that we do all that we can do to have a terrific Tuesday, and welcome all our new listeners and viewers here at TFNN, and welcome to the Hotel California. Now, check-in time here at the Hotel California. It's changed yesterday. You can now check into the hotel at 8 a.m. as we have a new show that was kicked off by our man John Logan. It's called the Global Market Pulse out there. John will go ahead and focus on his market profile system out there. So 10 hours of live programming each and every day. These are call-in talk shows, so feel free to give us a call at 877-927-6648. Happy to field your call and help you identify what the market, what the stock, whatever it is that you're trading, commodity, anything that you're trading, what it is doing out there. And, of course, we've got 10 hours of live programming each and every day. What I'll do here during the next hour, I'll take a look at the markets. We'll utilize different tactical tools like the A to B equals CD pattern. That's our lightning bolt. We'll take a look, and that's a price projection tool. We'll take a look at Fibonacci expansions and retracement. The market's always expanding or retracing. Right now, it's trying to expand. It's trying to bust out the highs out there. So we'll take a look at that and give you ideas where price can move to if this is a true breakout out there. Of course, we'll always look at Japanese candlesticks because those are the signs that the bulls and bears make for you and I each and every trading session. So we'll look at those as well. And, of course, we know that we need to not just be tactical but strategic. And being strategic means mastering probability. It's also the name of my daily newsletter service, and it's available here at TFNN.com. If you go to the homepage of TFNN, you'll see in the center portion of the page all the radio show contributors. Click on my name, then click on Mastering Probability. You can test drive my service, 30-day risk-free trial out there. So that is Mastering Probability. Click on that. It is Terrific Tuesday. Again, hope everybody's off to a great start of their day. This is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes, and welcome to the show. Right now, we've got the Dow up 73 points, trading out at 17,124. S&P's up about 11 at 1984. NASDAQ up 36 points, traded at 4460. Russell up 11 points, up 1 full percentage point. We're going to key in on the Russell because I think that is one of the keys to the markets out here. NDX 100 up 30 points. That's up 0.3% out here. New York Stock Exchange up 61 points. Let's check in, see what's going on. Net advancing issues out here. I think I wrote down the number 2250. We're not there yet. But if we were to see 2,250 net advancing issues inside of the New York Stock Exchange, and is that a possibility? Boy, that's right on the line. You'd almost have to see every issue have a advancing issue today. And in any event, we'll see. Right now it's only about 1642, but that does not take away from the breakout that we are seeing out here with the ES Mini trade down at 1979 out here. Now, what it's doing here on a intraday time period, let me pull this chart up here real quickly for you first. It's a 30-minute chart here for the ES Mini. Let's go check out A to B equals CD patterns on this time frame. But first, what you'll notice is that if you take a look at the bottom panel of my chart out here, hopefully you're watching this on Tiger TV. If you're listening on the radio or your mobile device at TFNN.mobi, let me express to you what it is that we are taking a look at. The relative strength reading out here, very strong, 83.75 is its number, but that says that on a short-term basis, we're into the extreme, I do mean extreme, overbought condition out here. I'm just trying to pull this stock chart back over the past number of days out here. When was the last time we were up towards this level? It was back here on July the 3rd. How about that? When the reading, well, let me go ahead and put this little panel up on my screen. That'll tell me what it is. So if I take a look at what that reading was back there, it was at 84.31. So the last time that the ES Mini was up here was back on July 3rd, 84.31. So it could go just a bit higher out there. I'll go ahead and pull this stock chart back. Now let's take a look at A to B equals CD patterns that are present here inside of the market. So the A point is going to be, let me turn on the tool here. The A point is going to be the low out here on the trading session of about 7 o'clock, 1900 hours. That is on July 17th. That's your A point. Your B point, that's out here on the trading session at about 2:30 in the afternoon, and that is on looks like July 18th. Your C point, a little bit of a, looks like a hammer. Oh, I didn't click on that. I need to click on that. There we go. And now my C point down here, that is on the trading session at about 11 o'clock in the morning out here, and that is on July 21st. So the 1-to-1 A to B equals CD to the upside here that this projects is 1990 or 1978 right now. Other than being extremely overbought right here, that's the only thing that, well, it's one of the things that would get in the way. Now, it's a 30-minute chart here for the ES Mini. Let me do this. Let me also come over here. And let's take a look at the Russell 2000. So on the Russell 2000, here's the 120-minute time frame. It's not over. Well, let me do this. Let me do this first. Yeah, no, let's do this. Let me keep that on the 30-minute chart. It'll be easier for me to go ahead and do this. If we take a look at the Russell 2000, get a little 10-minute delay out here, but it's trying to form an A to B equals C. Well, it's going to form an A to B equals C to the upside. You get price into the 1161-ish type area out there. But it could do much, much more than that. And so we'll take a look at the IWM, and we'll take a look at the Qs and so forth. I want to just switch over here. It's not overbought yet on a 120-minute time frame inside of the Russell 2000. Let me switch over to the S&P futures. Let's see where we're at here. It's up about the 70 level, so it's starting to get there. But so long as it, let me pull this back even a little further. See what the ES Mini is doing right now. So what the ES Mini needs to clear is that July 3rd high. And that pie out here inside the ES Mini is priced out at 1978.25. You're at 1978.25 right now. So we've got 100% move. We've got an overbought condition on a 30-minute chart out here. And this may be an area where we begin to see a bit of a pause. It's really going to be what happens at that pause. Does the market move sideways? I'm not saying it has to, but you're really at a logical spot both price-wise. When I take a look at the S&P futures, what they're doing on a shorter-term basis, being near that overbought condition out here. And it's really a matter of, is it a complete rejection? Or does it? Or do we just simply see a move sideways inside of the market? And all I can say is I know what it is that we're going to look for, and we're just going to wait for the market to go ahead and give us a signal out here as to what it wants to do. In the meantime, we could take a look at some longer-term charts out here. We could take a look at how about some things that are actually really popping, and how about some things that are dropping. So that says we'll take a look at Chipotle and then gold. You've got Chipotle up $68 right now. Chipotle gapped up this morning. Big volume behind its move out here, so long as it doesn't gap down anytime below this morning's low, which is at a price point of $649.27 out there. The reason why I say that is because you don't want to see it form a island reversal such as Lorillard did. In fact, let's go check in on Lorillard, not to jump around here. We want to see with the markets moving higher, what is this equity? Because this equity has been on fire. Yeah, no. How about this? Lorillard has a LO as a ticker symbol. It's got an island top reversal out here. Of course, what it needs the market to move in a southerly direction out there. So pretty tough when the market's moving one way for a stock as strong as this to really move in the opposite direction out here. But nonetheless, this is one of the more bearish stocks out here from island reversal standpoints. There's others, like we can take a look at ticker symbol MU, which is Micron Technologies. This, too, has an island reversal top formation at its all-time high, which took place on July the 16th. Not doing a lot today, bouncing off a point of control. That's the area where price is most comfortable with. That was at 33.02. It's trading at 33.05. It would go a long way. Now, in the case of Micron Technology, since this is the most bearish, one of the most bearish patterns that's out there in the marketplace, taking this island out, meaning getting above its highs, which is 34.85. That would tell you about some real strength inside of this equity. At this stage, what we know about it is it has a very bearish pattern out here. MU is the ticker symbol. As far as where is Chipotle headed to now, I'll switch back to Chipotle. Let's put this on let's take a look at Fibonacci expansions. That seems to be the logical thing to do here. So we'll start with the swing point high that was taken out with volume this morning. That's the March 21st level. We'll go down to the swing point low that was, come on, there we go, cursor. That was put in down here on the trading session of April the 28th. You can see price actually gapped up into the 1.272 area. Price projection there, 663.83. High today, 663.43. You got to love that. If it can break through that area, if it can close above it, no reason to believe at this stage that it won't. That says, hey, I'd like to go visit the 715 range, and that is on Chipotle CMG. We've got gold trading off about $7 and silver down 7 pennies. So let's go check in on those. Let me switch over to some different chart tools. Let's take a look at 3 different time frames for Goldilocks. Let's look at the 120-minute, the 240-minute, and, of course, the daily out here. If we take a look at the daily chart now, this is going to have a 10-minute delay out here. So if I go back and see where gold is really trading at, gold is really trading at 1306. So at 1306, and you can see right now this shows 1311. That's the 10-minute delay in order to itch and stitch these contracts together so they give us the proper market profiles out here. 1306, it's dealing with the swing point from July 16th. That low is 1294.30. Should gold close below that, what that will do is that'll set up a small A to B equals CD to the downside. The bigger concern is the large A to B equals CD potentially to the downside. If we take a look at the small one out here, though, the A point is going to be what I'm using as a C point for the very large move to the downside, which I suspect is still a possibility out there. I know I am the only one that is in that camp, or I believe I may be one of the only ones out there, but, that's okay. I'll just read a book while I'm at the campsite. Now, if we take a look at what it means to close below 1293.40, well, it means, number one, on a daily basis, you're back below a market profile low out there. That means you've broken through support. If you get below 1298, that says, hey, you've also broken through a swing point. That says your one-to-one move out there, just a normal move, takes you to about 1272. 1272 takes us back to the breakout trading session from June 19th out there. It's really when gold gets below, should it get below, and the number to be watching is the June 17th low. That's at 1258.80. That would be an indication that you're looking at A to B equals CD to the downside out here. So at this stage, what we do know about Goldilocks is she's below a market profile low out there. Let's go take a look at silver. Silver now is actually trading down about 5 cents, so not a big deal out there. Well, actually, as long as we're inside gold. I said we would look at 120 and 240, didn't I? And I am a man of my word out here. If you take a look at the 240-minute chart, it's busted through its market profile low as well. Of course, the swing point it's contending to is the downdraft session, and that is from 8 to 10 a.m. on July 15th. That low out there, muy importante, 1293.40. 877-927-6648. This is Steve Rhodes. This is Tiger Financial News Network. We'll be right back, folks.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Wouldn't it be great if you could get a red light, green light indicator that gives you signals on 25 different future contracts? Now you can with Taz Signal Box. This red light, green light market profile system dynamically updates 24 hours a day and provides you with important trend and trade signals on 9 different commodities, 9 different indices, and 8 different currencies. Right now, you can receive a free 2-week trial to Taz Signal Box. For all the details and to find out how the Signal Box works, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Andy Heck's powerful weekly newsletter, the Technomental Commodity Report, has delivered multiple triple-digit winning trades in recent months. And right now's the perfect time to get a full month-long trial to Andy's newsletter with no obligation to pay anything. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you'll lock in the low rate of only $59 a month. Sign up right now for the Technomental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
You've always taken the long view when it comes to investing, but what if there's an opportunity right under your nose? What if you could be more responsive to market trends to seek to boost your portfolio performance right now while seeking to reduce your overall risk? At Direction Funds, we connect investors with alternative strategies that seek to maximize their returns. Smart investors deserve smart alternatives. Find yours at directionfunds.com. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of Direction Funds carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Funds. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact the Direction Funds at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. Investing in index funds may be more volatile than investing in broadly diversified funds. Distributed by Rafferty Capital Markets, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen, live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den, absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Steve takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, folks. The Dow's up 66, S&P's up 9, Composite up 33, Russell's up $11. You've got Nasdaq is up 27. Going to be a big day after the close today with Apple. In fact, let's go check in on Apple, see what's going on in its chart out here. Give me a moment here to pull it up. AAPL. No, AAPL. What the heck am I thinking? That's Apple Petite Corp, AAPL. You'd think I could get it straight out here. Let's take a look at its daily chart. Right now, Apple's up 37 cents, straight out of 94.31, but really, it's back up towards its all-time highs out here. Now, what we know about Apple is it's got a little complex A to B equals C to the upside. The B point on this that I'm using out here, and this is a small one, quite frankly. We can take a larger A to B leg out here, but let's take a look at a small one. Maybe we'll take a look at the big one, too. But right now, let's just deal with this. Let's deal with the B point, a swing point from June 10th. It did volume out there of 62 million shares. As price got over that, it did with 56 million on July 7th, and it did with 65 million shares on July 8th. Now, price is trading below that B point right now, but it has a complex A to B equals C. We haven't seen any real volume here to the downside. All we've seen is price pull back into the market profile low. That's 92.58, the actual low there on the scary trading session of July 17th. Well, the trading session low is 92.57. So really right into its market profile low out there. That says that Apple could very easily gap up to 101.80 today. Would not surprise me to see that take place out there. I do not see anything inside this. Let me pull this back. Let me make sure that I'm looking at this fairly. Let me make sure that I'm looking at this accurately. I don't see anything inside the stock chart here for Apple that would suggest that it wants to gap down. Now, I will tell you that recently, several weeks ago, I had to go to a Apple store. I was upgrading I was actually backing up and upgrading an iPhone and got one of those iOS errors. Those are scary errors. Why? Because when you because the phone is locked up. Maybe you've had that before. If you have, God bless you. Hopefully you didn't do what Apple was suggesting to do. Coming from the computer industry, I know there's, in any event, it's where your phone actually locks up. You can't do a darn thing. And what's on the phone is the actual plug-in cable there. So I went ahead and went over to the Apple store and said, look, I need you to help me uncrack this, unbreak this, get it out of this mode, is really what I asked them to do out there. And they said, well, Mr. Rhodes, we can't do that. All we can tell you to do is go ahead and just restore the original settings, and you lose all of your data out there. And, of course, I said I was in the process of backing this up. That's all that I was really doing. I was going to install the new operating system, and they said that's all that we can do. However, with a bunch of Internet search out there, I was able to download a tool, hook up the phone, and get it back so that I lost no data out there. Yet the folks at Apple, this was disappointing, certainly disappointing for me. And I've seen this, seen Apple do this a couple of times out there, and it is really pitiful that what they, on the phone, through Apple Care, through the retail stores, that they're telling people, sorry, can't do anything about that problem you have with your phone. You're going to lose all your data out there. Don't believe it, folks. So if you know people that have a problem like that, I don't know, send me an email, steve@tfnn.com, and I'll tell you where I went to. Of course, I can't guarantee results out there. I can tell you it was a nice thing. Was able to crack into, unlock that. No, I say unlock. I wasn't trying to do anything illegal here. We want to just get past that screen out there and then be able to get to back it up. But that's not really what we're talking about here. We're really talking about the stock chart here. And the stock chart says, would not be surprised to see Apple gap up into the 101.80 and complete that small A to B equals C to the upside. There are larger patterns out here inside of Apple. Now, if Apple does crack and Apple does fall out of bed this morning or this afternoon, where it will fall back to is its last sign of strength out here. So here's the downside out here. I'm not suggesting that you play the upside in this, but the downside, you've always got to be paying attention to the downside. It's that wide price spread, accelerated volume from April 23rd, April 24th out here, where it had 189 million shares out there. Now, it's not like that is a high volume low, because it isn't. It's a breakout session. And if things fall out of bed, they usually will pull back to their breakout session out there. I don't see that necessarily happening inside of Apple, but we'll see. We'll, you know what? We'll go take a look at it tomorrow morning, because tomorrow morning we will definitely know what's going on out there. Microsoft as well is going to be out with numbers after the bell out here. If we take a look at its stock chart, it's up 13 cents out here. It has had nothing more than nice signs of strength. It did complete a 1-to-1 A to B equals C to the upside. It did that a few trading sessions ago. And right now, just kind of in a very overbought condition. Just working its way sideways, working off that appetite. That is on Microsoft, trading out at about $44.95. We'll be right back, folks.
Daryl Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his diagnostic box spread analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market.
Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Daryl Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN, and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a mobile connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and radio call and talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors. This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Dow's up 67, S&P's up 11, NASDAQ Composite up 34 points. Had a email question from a listener. Look, folks, don't fear calling into the show. I appreciate the email questions as well. But you're always welcome to call in at 877-927-6648. I understand a little anxiety, but consider it with calling into any talk show, because I have it myself when I call into shows as well. But there's nothing like overcoming hurdles in life out there. But the question was, are there any other 3 drive to a top patterns? And the question was specifically about the NASDAQ, the NQ out here. So let's go take a look at it. Let's go look at what this viewer was looking at. Now, the reason why I believe that question was brought up was in the first hour I was looking at with each of you. If you joined us during the first hour, we were taking a look at the reversal pattern inside of the Dow out here. It's 3 drive to a top pattern, which formed and confirmed that everything that you need. In fact, from a textbook standpoint, this is is the one that you would be paying attention to. This is July 17th. Now, that high is 17,151.56. My suggestion to anybody that was short the market when we took a look at this was go ahead and make sure you are using stops. And if you see it close above 17,151.56 on the Dow Jones, on the cash index out there, that is a sign to exit your short positions, your market short positions, not necessarily a stock equity or something like that. But why would that be the case? Because there is nothing more bullish than a failed bearish pattern out there, and that's what would be the message there. So I'm assuming that that is where the question came in from, but whether it did or it didn't, let's go take a look at what our viewer is looking at and go take a look at the futures contract now for the NQ. And in the NQ, I can see 2 drives out here for sure. Now, on a 3 drive to a top pattern, what you don't want to do is force it. You like time, you like symmetry out here. That symmetry being both the Fibonacci expansions as well as time. Let's take a look at time symmetry first. Your first drive out here, meaning the high that I would believe that our listeners taking a look at, is the high from July 3rd. Makes sense, right? Market makes a high July 3rd. The second high inside the NQ takes place here on July 16th. That would say from a time standpoint, a trading session standpoint on it, let me get it right, that would say that your third drive, time-wise, ought to come in on July 28th. Another, today's the 22nd, so 6 days from today out here in order to have the time sequence out there. But let's go take a look at that. And I can see here, we can see an expansion of swing points. The expansion, it looks like between the swing point here from July 3rd down to the low on July 10th. Looks like probably about a 1.272 expansion into this July 16th area. And I can't tell if this one's 1.272 or 1.618. This one right here that he's looking at, which is today's, or she, is today's high out here. But let's go take, I've got a cool little tool on my Ensign Windows software out here. I could just simply go ahead and turn it on, and it'll give me an idea for what the, there we go, for what the expansions are. Oh, and that's what he's, nah, that's not the right expansion. Okay, so much for that tool. Let's just go draw the pattern. Well, let me do this. Here's a way that you can do it at home because you may not have the tool. Take your swing point high to swing point low for your first drive out there. You can see that the high that came in on the trading session here of July 16th, your 1.272 expansion was 39.41.53. It got up to 39.41. That's a 1.272 expansion. It does not get any better than that. Your second expansion thus far, you would take a look at that same high now that we used from July 16th down to the low that came in last on the July 18th, and your 1.272 expansion, very close to it right now. So price-wise, you've got your two 1.272 expansions. 39.65 is the exact number, 39.64.66, but who's counting pennies out here? 39.59.50 is the high, so pretty darn close. But really that 3 drive to a top pattern, if it were one, would look more like this, to have both time and price matching without actually going ahead and forcing the pattern out there. And would look pretty much just like that. Now, what we'll also do is from our first drive down to our swing point low on July 10th, all the way up to this potential high out here at 39.69 and change. You'd also see a 1.618 expansion out there. So that doesn't mean that, so it's really not a 3 drive. It's not a textbook 3 drive to a top pattern, much like you would see inside of the, what we did see inside of the Dow out there. So I would say stay focused on the Dow. What could be sitting up here inside the composite instead is more of an A to B equals CD pattern. That would say that you've seen the 1-to-1, or you're almost ready to see just a small 1-to-1 complete here today, but really that's a small pattern. The larger pattern is really in place here inside of the NQ. That says if the Dow takes out that 3 drive to a top pattern, what it tells me is the NQ wants to make a run to 4,100. Of course, the NQ wants to make a run to 4,100 without the Dow. It doesn't really care about the Dow, and the reason is because it broke through a 300-point consolidation. It did that on June the 5th out here. It is not done. That says the measured move takes you up to the 4,100 level. In fact, I think it's higher than that. Let's do the math here. The math says 3,400 is the low, and the high is 3,740. So that's 340 points. So let's really correct this. So this is more like a 340-point move, because we've got to use right price projections. And then 4,150 is the actual price projection out there. Let me make sure. So the high out here is at 3,700, and 300 is 4,000, 4,040. What the heck am I talking about? 4,040 is the number. That's the price projection. Looks like inside of the NDX to complete its measured move. That's if my math is right here. 37. Yeah, that's what it is. 340 points on top of 3730. You know, let's do that. Let's make it 4080, right? Let's make it correct. So there's your price projection, 4080. I guess the 4100 was close enough as I was rounding out there, but the actual price projection should take you to about 4080 inside of the Qs out there. Of course, what that's going to need everybody to join along in the gang out here. Probably break their market profile high, so everything is lined up to the bullish side. What would those levels be? I'm glad you asked me that question. Inside the ES Mini, it's the 1974 level, but really needs to close above 19 in my book, 1978.25. That's what it needs to close above. You're at 1976.75 right now. NQ up above its market profile high. That's at 39.30. So it's in the you'll get that full-blown bullish mode out here. The Russell 2000 has found support at its 0.618 retracement level as it moved down into that. That was on July the 18th out here. Also has a new market profile daily on its daily chart out here. Says close above 1166.55. That will go ahead and send it off into a bullish zone out there. And here's the thing inside the Russell 2000. That says likely would go back and visit the highs from July 1st, but if it takes that area out, that says you've got an A to B equals C to the upside. You ask where can price go there inside of the Russell? Well, that says your A point is down here on May 15th. Your B point is on July the 1st. Your C point down here on July 17th. A 1-to-1 A to B equals C to the upside inside the Russell will take you to about the 1260 area. It's got a lot of work to do before it gets there, but part of that work would be closing above 1167 is what we will call it. So the Russell 2000 still, even though it's the weakest link out here, it's more neutral territory as we speak right now than it is in bearish territory. And then we'll take a look at the good old Dow futures out here. Of course, we know what the number is inside the Dow on the cash indice. On the futures contract, you're looking at for a close above 17,085. You do that, you get all things lined up like that, then the answer, what the market is communicating to you is do not be short a market indice, at least not unless you think you are able to call a top tick out there. That's the message of the markets as we look at them right now. Let's go take a look at some things that are moving and grooving in the marketplace out here. Let's see, what do we got? Herbalife having a little bit of a bounce here this morning. HLF is the ticker symbol. I believe they're out with numbers here shortly. When are they out with numbers? Well, I don't know, but it was moving down with some volume yesterday. It's recapping, it's regrouping here today. When we take a look at Herbalife, HLF is a ticker symbol, moved down, has got several high volume bars. All the high volume bars are to the downside with the exception of what? Today. Very interesting, as Colonel Klink liked to say in Hogan's Heroes. Yesterday was down with 11 million shares, and today up with 6 million shares in only an hour and 15 minutes of trading out there. Looks like the battle, I believe, between Carl Icahn and what's the other guy's name? Bill Ackman out there. Looks like how would you like to play in that battle? I say go look for a different sandbox out here, and instead let's just watch what in the heck happens out there. There's a request to go take a look at the Qs out here. If we go take a look at the Qs for our man Peak D in the Tiger's Den, let's go see what the Qs are doing out here. In fact, well, let's look at the Qs and the IWM. QQQ up 0.6%, up 62 pennies right now. The Qs here up at highs over the all-time highs. Taking out the swing point here from July 16th. Volume on that trading session, 22 million shares today, up with 7 million shares in an hour. Not too shabby as we speak right now. What's the, I apologize, but what's the question? Since 2005, 78% of the time QQQ uptrend have ended in less than 50 days out there. Okay, so that looks like what Claw in the Tiger's Den is using a cycle pattern out there. So that's what it looks like. Pete D says, have we made a 1.618 expansion? Well, let's go take a look at it. The expansion now, and you can see here, no real three drive to a top pattern. The expansion that you would be looking at, very much like we took a look at inside of the NQ. 1.618 expansion takes us up to a price level. And I'm just looking at the last set of swing points. That's just simply the July 16th high to the low on July 17th. 1.618 takes you up to $97.52 out there. That's inside of the Qs. Let's go take a look at the IWM. That's really where I believe that our focus should be. The Russell 2000 up $1.15, up a little over 1% as we speak right now. Trying to take out its 8 period. It's 8 day in this case. We're looking at a daily chart, exponential moving average. We'll see if that holds as a resistance. The real resistance is a 115.61. That's its market profile. That's the one that just formed today, just like it did when we were taking a look at the futures contract. So if you close above that and you're still short the Russell 2000 and everything else breaks above the numbers that I gave you earlier, then I would say don't. Take a small loss, take your profits, do whatever you're going to do, live to fight another day. I would especially say that if you've got more than 28 million shares moving into the July 14th level out there, because that's its swing point that it's trying to trade up into. And today you've done 11 million shares in an hour of trading. So the IWM is picking up volume to the upside out here. So these markets, looks like they may try to break out 2 days earlier than I have anticipated out here. But there's a lot of time left in the trading session. And as I mentioned earlier, on the intraday time period, being that 30-minute chart, when we began the show, I believe, I went ahead and put this chart on the screen out here, and we were taking a look at how the ES Mini, that's what we're looking at, was in that extreme overbought condition, and that it ought to start doing something other than move higher, which is moving sideways to lower. If it just moves sideways, and that's how it works off an overbought condition, then the answer is very likely that what the markets are trying to do are breakout in 1990, at least 1990, maybe even more like, whoops, I didn't mean to do that, maybe even more like 1999 would be the actual price target for the ES Mini out there. That's what's going on a shorter-term basis. Back to stocks that are moving out here in the marketplace. Let's take a look at, we looked at Herbalife. That's moving up with volume up 8%. How about Citigroup? CIT is a ticker symbol. That's up 11% here this morning, up $4.66 out here. Let's see. On the news, what, John Thane's going to continue to lead? No, I don't think that's it. Nonetheless, let's go take a look at Citigroup here, gapping up this morning. Big volume behind the move out here. 3.8 million shares, getting above a downdraft that had 5.4 million shares. So that is bully. That is bullish. If you take a look at A to B equals CD patterns inside of Citigroup, your A point is going to be your low on May 15th. Your B point is going to be this little doji-style candle on July 1st. Little retracement down into the low. We'll use, looks like, let's see, 43.41. You got 43.40. How about yesterday's low? 43.47. No, we'll go down here to the low on July 17th. Gaps up into the 1-to-1 level. Says that it wants to do more than that. It's got nice volume behind the move out here. Looks like Citigroup is changing its trend. Look at this. So you've got a couple of different things inside of Citigroup. Its trend line, that's coming back to the January 9th, 2014 high. So here this has broken its trend. It's done it with volume. The move higher inside Citigroup with the volume that it's got here today suggests that Citigroup here wants to make its way back into the highs out here, back from the trading session of January 9th. Looks like Citigroup is headed to 51.90 to the 52.72 area out there. That begs to ask us the question, what's going on inside of the financial sector, the XLF? When we get back from this break here, we'll go take a look at a couple sectors inside of the S&P 500. The XLF today up only about 0.3%, but the technology sector, XLK, lead the charge. We'll be right back.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
We're told to follow our passion and everything else will fall into place. I hope that's what each of you are doing each and every day. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Money Master Show at TFNN.com, and my passion for technical analysis is what led me to the most fundamental discovery in pattern recognition, the Rhodes Momentum Indicator, market scanner, and trading strategy, a set of tools that identify the momentum and power of the trend, the likes of which have never been seen before, for every market and every time frame. Yes, folks, the trend is your friend, unless you're on the other side. New to technical analysis? This is the place to start. And experienced traders, take advantage of the trend like never before. Experience the power of the Rhodes Momentum Indicator each day, available to subscribers of my newsletter service, Mastering Probability. I guarantee your satisfaction for the next 30 days unconditionally, so there's no risk to you other than being on the wrong side of the trend. Mastering Probability, available on the homepage of TFNN.com. And folks, live with passion.
Catch Basil Chapman as he uses his Chapman Wave methodology to call the markets. The Tiger Technicians Hour, next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. Dow's up 64, S&P is up 11. And don't forget, check-in time for the Hotel California now at 8 a.m. each morning as we kick things off. 10 hours of live programming. So beginning the trading day, we've got John Logan doing a show for us, followed by myself for a couple hours. And, of course, following me, we got our man Basil Chapman. So make sure you've got your surfboard all waxed up and ready to ride the Chapman Wave on Tuesdays. We have the Options Hour out there, one of the great great show that we do each week. After that, we then go to our man Daryl Martin. We take a look at the Nadex platform out there. Then, of course, David White. He'll show you about the Power Law Vector Indicator. Then following David's show, Tom has now moved his shows. He used to do 4 to 6. He's done that for 18 years, I believe is what he said yesterday. Well, he's changed that to do 3 to 5. That way he gets the call the last hour of trading. So he'll do 3 to 5. Then on Tuesdays from 5 to 6, Tuesdays and Thursdays, our man Andy Heck will be going ahead and filling or taking over that time slot out there. So check-in time for the Hotel California, now 8 a.m. So as we round out the morning out here, we take a look at the markets. What are the markets doing? What technical analysis does is it doesn't really care what's going on with the Federal Reserve or anybody else out there, what anybody's thoughts are on the market. We just simply go take a look at trading patterns. If we take a look at, just as an example, we'll put a couple of charts up here on the screen. Here's the monthly chart for the S&P 500. So let's take a monthly chart, and let's just simply draw in the stock patterns out here. Number one, it's been on a tear. The red little circles, red little squares, I should say, that you see on my chart out here, those are Rhodes momentum indicator signals. Red tells you that the buyers are absolutely in control. Hey, no, that's not news to you, is it? In fact, the last on a monthly basis, the last real buying opportunity came after the retracement down into the September 2011 time frame. Actually, it was October when we saw it close above one of those Rhodes momentum indicator signal lows out there. But if we just look at A to B equals CD patterns that are truly in place out here, let's go take a look at that. We're going to take a look at the low here from March of 2009. That's our A point. Your B point's going to be up here. That is the trading session. That is in May of 2011. And your C point down here back into that low in October of 2011 as well. What we can see here is that the S&P has done more than a 1-to-1 A to B equals CD. Remember, a 1-to-1 A to B equals CD only occurs 60% of the time. The other 40% of the time, it does something else. And I think pretty soon here, I'm going to be doing one of my workshops, buying and selling the D point, where I teach you how to master the A to B equals CD tool out here. I can tell you technically it was telling us that it was not going to do a 1-to-1 A to B equals CD. What does this say on its price projection? Well, interestingly enough, your 1-to-1 on the S&P, 1 to 1.618 is what I should say. On a monthly chart for the S&P 500 says 2213. The reality is the breakout of the consolidation pattern that the S&P was in, that's got a price projection of 2,350. So that's what we ought to see. That doesn't mean we don't see some kind of retracement at some point in time, but the patterns are what the patterns are. You can't be, I mean, you can fight them all you want out there, but those are the patterns. Those are the signals out there until we see something different out here. If we take a look at, I mentioned this yesterday, we took a look at this yesterday. This is also a thing of beauty. If we take a look at long-term charts out here, I'm just trying to find the signal. And that is this pattern. This is the NASDAQ composite. Most folks thought we'd never see the highs in 2000 get tackled again. Well, if you take a look at this 23-month cycle that's out here, looks like the NASDAQ, what it did was it made a cycle low April 30th. The month ended April 30th, 2014. You're trading inside that swing point of 43.55. Heck, the monthly chart says onward and upward, 5,100 bucks out there. Folks, stay tuned. Our man Basil Chapman is up next. Have a terrific Tuesday. I do appreciate you joining us here. And don't forget, check-in time in the Hotel California, 8 a.m. each day now. Have a great day, folks.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his
subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
This is TFNN.